So yesterday I promised you the Trumna, and today I shall deliver because I am a man of my word. We actually revisited the Trumna fairly recently, but there's been so many changes that happened to the game since, I think it's worth revisiting again. Now, just in case you don't know, the Trumna is a fully automatic Mastery Rank 13 rifle that does primarily heat damage with an actually decent amount of impact, and there is an additional explosion or a bit of splash damage that happens in a 1.6 meter area which does pure heat damage. It sports a 24% crit chance, a 2.2 times crit multiplier, and a 30% status chance, and it rocks an absolutely enormous 200 round magazine, though the reload speed, or reload time rather, is well, yeah, it's 5 seconds. Also, the fire rate is somewhat low at only 4.67. However, the weapon also has a unique secondary fire, or a unique mechanic, where once you get a handful of kills with the primary fire, you can unleash a massive bouncing ball which does impact damage on direct hit and then 1000 heat damage with a 6 meter explosion. This is a 38% crit chance, a 2.4 times crit multiplier, and a 50% status chance. Getting the Trumna isn't complicated, it's just a bit fiddly. You can buy the blueprint from father in the Necralisk, but you're also gonna have to get a steady glass shard from grandmother, as well as the blueprints for the barrel, receiver, and stock. So let's see how the Trumna performs after all the changes that were introduced with the Jade Shadows, shall we? I don't think the build's gonna be that much different from what we ran before, but I have a feeling there are gonna be a few tweaks here and there. This weapon gains absolutely massive value from Merciless because you're shaving off 1.2 seconds off the reload with Merciless alone. That is ridiculous. Plus, you of course get the damage. Galvanized Chamber for a bit of multi-shot. Galvanized Scope, yes, because this is basically just an automatic rifle with a bit of splash damage, as well as Galvanized Aptitude, of course, for the status chance and GO. Let's shuffle these around a little bit because this is an absolute mess. I don't like it one little bit. Something like that, I guess. Bit of crit damage. Surely, Corrosive and Heat is just the way to go here. I don't think I want to go with Hellfire because it's not that much more heat damage. The extra status from Thermite rounds is just too good. I am tempted to try Prime Fast Hands, but I don't think it's going to be worth it because we already have the reload from Merciless. Like, how much reload do we actually... Yeah, 1.1 seconds. That's not worth 12 capacity and a mod slot, I don't think. I think it would be better to just use blood for ammo. Hammer Shot, on the other hand, sounds heavenly here. Yeah, more crit damage, more status chance. Let's get rid of Avenger for the time being. Oh god, I forgot about the recoil. Yeah, we can't have that. No. Stabilizer, there it is. In you go, buddy. Oh yeah, that's much better. The ramp up is mediocre, which is to be expected, but as soon as we get a kill, especially if it's a headshot, it should pop off pretty fast. Oh yeah, here we go. Now, with Blood for Ammo, which by the way is a Parazone mod, you don't actually want to reload the weapon, you instead, there you go, shank the enemy, and it replenishes your magazine to full. We'll see how it feels in an actual mission, because in the Simulacrum, it's a very controlled environment, you can select the kind of enemies you have, so in a normal mission it's going to be a bit different, but I think it's going to be fine. Also, the damage, terrific. Absolutely lovely damage. So since we're already running scope and we're using blood for ammo, it just makes sense to go for Deadhead. We get the extra headshot multiplier, and also this should combine with stabilizer and give us 0 recoil. Oh yeah, look at that. Ha! No recoil. It feels a bit weird actually. Time for some extra juice. Avenger goes back in, and so does Harold. Hello boy. Oh, now that is some serious damage, my dudes and dudettes. What about the secondary fire? Blimey, that's a lot of damage. Question is, does it actually feel good in a normal mission? Oh my god, I hate this tile so much. The enemies always spaz out all over the place. By the way, performance, terrific, absolutely tremendous. Love it. This is one of those setups or guns that kind of makes you forget that you're in Steel Path because the enemies just die so fast. Let's get a finisher here to reload. Shank. There we go. Always have to keep that in mind when you're using blood for ammo to reload. Otherwise, you know, you're gonna have to spend 5 seconds reloading, and nobody wants to do that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Another benefit of blood for ammo that I always forget about is that it doesn't actually reload the weapon from your reserve. It just replenishes the ammo. So if you're using blood for ammo, you have infinite ammo, effectively. Dude, the damage is so much better than I thought it was gonna be. It's actually just straight up ripping through them. As I've said, this does not feel like Steel Path at all. Like, look at that. That was a heavy gunner. Oh my god, Acolyte, this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna blast it with a ball. Hey, stop charging around, you doofus. Oh my god. Yeah, that's how you handle an Acolyte. Holy shit. Oh, here we go. Ball time. Whoop. I forgot to aim down sights. That's one thing you have to bear in mind. Like, if you're gonna fire out the secondary fire and you're using galvanized scope, you need to aim down sights when you do it. Otherwise, you're not gonna get the crit. This is absolutely oh no, no, no. Oh, I don't have a weapon to switch to. Oh my god, the 5-second reload is so bad. Jesus Christ. I am so impressed by this. I think this is gonna be one of my go-to weapons for faffing around. It's so much fun. Where's the other one? Get a ball. Having no recoil does feel a bit weird because it kind of removes some of the feel from the weapon. It's nicer when the weapon kicks at least a little bit. Let's reload here. Shunk. But, you know, it makes it much easier to get headshots, so it makes galvanized scope easier to stack and deadhead easier to keep up. So, you know, you lose a bit of feel, but the playability is much better. Oh, my dude, you should have stayed at home. You should have stayed at home. Where'd you spawn? Bam. Sit down. So, I kind of went all out with this weapon, but I think it's worth it. The weapon is really fun, I enjoyed it a lot, so I just wanted to do everything I could to make it feel as good as I can, while also making it perform at its best. For the actual weapon build, we have Galvanized Chamber for multi-shot, Galvanized Scope for crit chance, Vital Sense for crit damage, Galvanized Aptitude for status chance and condition overload, Hammer Shot for more status chance and crit damage, Thermite Rounds to bolster the natural heat that comes with the weapon and add a bit of status chance, and we top it off with Malignant Force and High Voltage, which adds even more status chance, but more importantly, corrosive damage. Now, if you completely want to remove any recoil from the weapon, you can run Stabilizer in the Exiles, but you don't necessarily have to do that. If you don't mind a little bit of recoil, you can just run Deadhead for the damage, headshot multiplier, and the recoil reduction there. Now, because I wanted to go all out with this and see what it can do with a proper build, I ended up running Arcane Avenger on our frame, which adds 45% extra crit chance. At the very end, this doesn't interact with mod, so it basically takes the weapon's modded crit chance and adds 45% on top. Then we're running 2 Emerald Archon shards for more maximum corrosive procs. This allows you to strip away the enemy armor completely with corrosion alone. And these two things aren't entirely mandatory. You can absolutely make this build work without Arcane Avenger. You just lose a bit of crit chance, and you can make it work without the Emerald Archon shards because they're not as impactful as they used to be prior to the Jade update. What is pretty impactful though is a good priming pet. I'm using Good Boy Harold, who primes Puncture, Impact, Heat, Radiation, and Viral. This makes a big difference on a weapon that only does Impact, Corrosive, and Heat, and uses Condition Overload as one of its methods of damage scaling. I just straight up want to say that I would highly recommend you give this a shot. The Trumna started off as a somewhat mediocre rifle when it first came out. Then, as we got more mods and some stuff has changed, it became a little bit better, and now it's an absolutely terrific primary rifle. It does really good damage once you have the build set up, it's a ton of fun to use, and it has a really fun secondary fire that absolutely deletes Acolytes. So yeah, this, in my opinion, is a must-try weapon. And as always guys, I thank you very much for watching and I hope you've enjoyed the video. Then I would also like to extend a special thank you to all the channel members. Thank you very much guys, I really appreciate your support, it means a lot to me, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.